All right, y'all, we've made it. Tonight is the 2024 NFL Draft, and I have a video here for 3 things you can look forward to or look at in this NFL Draft to help you prepare for your fantasy football season. I know there's a lot of things that people may not be thinking about that really can set themselves up for success during the season. So let's step right into here. The first thing that I want you to look at is look at the offensive linemen that are drafted. This is going to help, especially those run blocking offensive linemen can help out these running backs. If they had a poor running offense last season and they sit there and they drafted maybe in the first and second round or first and third round 2 offensive linemen that can help them in that run game, that's something you want to look forward to. So just know who are the good run blocking, tight end, or not tight ends, but the tackles, the guards, and the centers. Who's the good pass blocking tackles and guards and centers. That way you know if they go to a team that hey, they didn't have a very good run game last season, so there's a potential for a breakout for some type of running back, because if they draft a running more either guards or tackles, that's going to help them with either their pass block or their run block. It should help that running back's value quite a bit. So definitely, if you're thinking about one of those things that, okay, can this running back have a bounce back type of season? Well, increasing the offensive line and the depth at the offensive line to increase the talent is just going to help their fantasy numbers stand out. Now, the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, it's going to be a pretty quick video. I just want to throw out some 3 things before we get ready for the NFL draft today. The next thing I want to say is look at the early draft capital first 1 to 3 rounds of all your running backs and your wide receivers. There's a running back or wide receiver that goes within the first 3 rounds, there's more likely they're wanting to get them on the field quite often, and that can kind of affect some of the wide receivers and running backs that are currently on NFL squads. There's a lot of times when somebody say, okay, this running back is going to be a stud. Let's just look at last season. We thought Kenneth Walker was going to be the man, then all of a sudden Zach Charbonnet gets drafted over to the Seahawks, and everybody's like, yo, pump the brakes. Now, Kenneth Walker did break through that. They made him the 1A type of guy, but I'm just telling you guys just an example of what can change, especially if you play in a dynasty league. Things can change all over the field based on draft capital and what positions get drafted where. Again, like in the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker saw his value plummet just because Charbonnet, who was one of the better running backs in that draft class, got drafted over there to Seattle. It ended up plummeting Kenneth Walker's value. So just some of the things you want to look at. This also goes for the wide receivers as well. If somebody's going to take a first or second round draft pick for a wide receiver, maybe look at some of these slot receivers or these second wide receivers. They may be losing their jobs or downgrading, so maybe their value is going to decrease a lot. It just depends, but just one of those things I want you to look at. Look at those running backs and look at those wide receivers who get drafted at an earlier draft position, and that could probably help you out quite a bit. The third thing I want to talk about is don't listen to the coach speak. Coach speak is just coach speak. Follow what the team does and not necessarily what the team says. So if they come out here, especially the Miami Dolphins, they used to do this quite a bit. But if they come out and say, yeah, we're going to run the football, we're going to be a hard-nosed type of running team, and you're like, whoa, I want the running back on this team, and they go out there in the 2 of the first 3 rounds or 2 of the first 3 picks, they end up grabbing wide receivers. Does that really tell you, I think that they're telling the truth? But if they want to go out there and maybe draft a guard and a tackle right off the bat, okay, now I think they're going to want to go into that running game. So just something you can look forward to. But just to recap of those 3 things, right? Look at the offensive line that's being drafted to those teams. That's going to help out those running backs. Look at the draft capital, especially for running backs and wide receivers, because that could impact players that are currently on NFL rosters. And don't listen to the coach speak. Those are the 3 things that you probably need to look out for tonight's NFL draft. I know we are all excited for fantasy football to kick it off once again for 2024. Guys, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Number 1, I want to know, what are you guys eating for the draft tonight? And number 2, what are you most looking forward to in the NFL draft? I'm curious to what you guys, what you have to say. Guys, I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you after the NFL draft. We'll see you guys next time.